good day everybody, and welcome back to a windy edition of my backstep. Y'all know me by now. My name is Al Chief, and I have something a little different in mind for today. Not going to be shouldn't be too long of a video today, but hopefully you guys will really enjoy what I got going for today. I just got to tie up my boots and then we're going to get right to it. Well, let's get in out of the... Now I'm feeling kind of blue. Got my backpack. Got a nice spider web. I don't know if you guys seen that. And he's okay. Look, there he is. You see him okay? Nature's flycatchers. One thing I want to show you guys, which I didn't think was going to be a problem, but look at this. The round ball poked through the tarp. Big time. So I'm going to have to figure something out about that. I've got a new seat for today. Now there's an upgrade. So one thing I do have to do today, I got to collect some wood. My stocks are pretty low. Not bad. I got lots there for fire, but not for what I want to do today. Let's just get into it, shall we? Well, I got my table. Well, there was an excitement I didn't need. This tripod's after being broke and fixed a couple of times. It's not holding the camera on properly. I'm all out of breath now because it popped off. And it bounced under the deck, underneath the railing, down amongst the trees. Let's go out so we can see. All the way down there. So anyone that does video knows how much a camera lies when it comes to slopes. It's like literally a slope like that, like it's close to 90 degrees. I'd say it's a good 75. And I just had to chase my camera down. Scrambling, I grabbed a branch and I don't know if you can see it, can you? Grabbed onto the wrong branch and it poked me in the hand. Yeah folks, that's the excitement for this video. It's not what I had in mind at all. But the other way. What I was trying to show you was I got this table out, and the only thing I'm using that table for now is to put my my camera up on, if it stays on the tripod. It might give it a bit better, it might give a bit of a better angle so you guys can see me a bit better and see what I'm doing a little bit better. So let's see how it goes. Alrighty. Now, lots of people own one. I see lots of people using them. I even own one myself, but I'm going to show how to turn this can into a twig stove. Now I did keep the top, there's a reason for that. And I'm going to use some tools to do it, rather than just using my knife, which would really damage my knife. If you're stuck and you have to, you could do this with a knife, but I'm not stuck. I'm not going to beat up my knife. I got some tin snips. I got a little hammer. I got some pliers. And I got a 6-inch nail. This is a twisted one, it's the only ones I have. Straight one will be fine. It doesn't have to be a twist, it's just all I had at the time. And that's all I think I need. Yes, for to make this. So, first thing I'm gonna do. Oh, my axe is off of me. Sitting in the chair, it's crumpling up against the chair. Now, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a bottom for it. And in order to make a bottom, this is not a super necessary step. Like, I've seen these done without this bottom and they're just fine. He just wants to put a bunch of holes in. Now I'm going to put some more holes around. Now, here's what you end up with. Okay? It's going to be the bottom, like this way. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these ends. I'm going to need some little legs on this. They don't have to be big. So I'm just going to snip into where that ring is. You got to do that for 4 sides. Give it 4 legs. You could probably get away with 3, but 4 is probably better. Pliers, you might not need your pliers for this, but because this can be kind of sharp, I'm going to use my pliers. Just going to bring these down, straighten it out, and there's the bottom. This is going to sit in the can on the bottom like this. But it'll be inside here. Now, before I put that in, what I want to do is I have to go around the edge and basically the same thing, punch a bunch of holes. This is going to be a little bit more difficult, I think. Let's see if I can do it. a bunch of holes around the bottom. Doesn't matter how many, just a bunch. Say 2, 4, 6, maybe 8 or 10. There's not really no set number for to do it. Just 8 or 10 holes. As close to the bottom as you can get them. You can put them up through the bottom, but I'm not, because I don't want my ash net falling out through the bottom onto the ground, and that's why I'm doing them in the sides. What this is going to do is allow the air to flow up through the can into the bottom of the fire. So the more of those you got, the better it is. But that's pretty good. Look, you can see them all inside. Then you can take this, and that's going to sit in the bottom. Now, I am going to do one more addition. I'm going to put a little bit of a bigger hole here. And I'll explain this in a minute. Just like that. Now obviously that's not for feeding the fire. It's not big enough. You're certainly not, well, you could probably stick some twigs in through there, but that's not my purpose for this. For feed this one, I'm going to go snip down. Pliers, squeeze this in. Try to keep this can as round as you can. Keep the can as round as can, right? Now next, what you want to do is make some small slits. Around the edge of the can. I know a lot of people are going to think that just weakened the top of the can, and it did, but I do have a very good reason for doing that. You got to be careful because these are sharp edges on here, so if any of it is giving you trouble, use your pliers. And there you have it. A little twig stuff. in the wrong spot. This hole here should have probably lined up with this slot. It's not a big deal. It just probably would have looked better if it was. But now, let's show you how this thing is going to work. First thing I got to do now is I got to go and collect some twigs. So I'll get back with you when I get those. Because it's all just right here, look. I don't have far to go, I just gotta open the gate and haul it in. So it's nothing exciting. Well, in true backstep fashion, I got me some little wood. But while I was getting it, I couldn't pass this up. Look. Somebody had this whole tree cut down. There's still more of it up there. I got most of it. It's gonna make for some good firewood. It's very seasoned. It was on the ground, but it's still dry. Really dry. It's gonna make for some really good firewood. So now, now's the task of, well, this little stuff I got, a lot of this is just going to go in the twig stove, because that's all it is twigs. It's just little twigs. So a lot of that's where this is going to go. I am going to keep some of it for starting fires, but I do want to show you just how well the twig stove works. So I'm going to make a cup of tea on it. The way I measure these is hand size. Snap for the stove. It's just me. Some people do them smaller. Some people might do them bigger. I had to take my jacket off. It was really warm out today. Really nice. For a change. But yeah, I'm just going to sit here for the next little while and do this. There's nothing exciting going to happen, so I'll get back with you when I get some of this cleaned up. Well now, got most all that cleared up. Got a pole here, and a pole here. Most of this can be broken by hand. Some of them I'm just going to have to put a notch in them with the saw and then just snap them off. Still got the great big one there and a bunch of big thicker branches. I'm going to bring that all in on the step there now and lay it over in the corner there by my shovel. That's my shovel. Notice I don't have my fire pit with me today. Yeah, I'm not going to be having a fire. That's what I made the twig stove. I'm going to make a cup of tea with the twig stove. That'll give you guys an idea of how well it actually works and what it takes to keep it going, because it's not you don't just fill it up once, you have to continuously feed it, but you only feed it stuff like this. So you can just, they're very efficient. Cut this one in two first. Alrighty. It'll cool down for me. Ooh. Very warm out here today. It's not a complaint. The breeze is nice while you're doing stuff. I got this over here to cut up. This here is ready, but it still needs to be cut down a bit. And of course, I got my little bit up here. Now, let's get to the twig stove, shall we? Because I know that's what everybody's been waiting on. See that thing in action. Honestly, I've been waiting on it too, because that's the first time I ever made it. I've been thinking about it for a while, hence the ideas that went into it. But I haven't really made one and used it. So, it's a first for me as well. I do own a twig stove, because I bought one a while ago. But I wanted to make one because it's always nice to be able to repurpose some garbage for something good. In my opinion, it is anyway. Now you're all talking of four-headed security here. Alright, now, just for the added security, I've got this. Kept this around specifically for something like this. It's just going to go right on top. Now, I got a piece of paper. Normally you'd use like a piece of birch bark or something like that, and it works great, but I'm at home. There's no birch trees around me, so I have some paper. See that okay? Maybe in this way a bit. I'm going to use all of my paper. I'm going to use a little bit. Okay, well, that's a bit of a bust. I had a lighter with a long nozzle on it. Barbecue lighters, you just poke them in and you light them. That's why I made this little hole. So you put the lighter in and light it. This is not going to work for that. It's very windy. You can see it doesn't take much to get it going. Now let's get my pot of water ready. I'm going all old school today. It's about a third of the way up. So it's a decent amount of water in there. It's kind of wobbly on there. I'm going to have to take it off of that wire mesh. It's too wobbly on the wire mesh. Now all I gotta do, keep breaking little ones, throwing them in. Sit back and relax for a bit now while I'm waiting on that. It's smoking a little bit, but that's okay. Needs a little cool drink before I have my hot cup of tea. Like, it's only been, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, if that. Getting a bit of wood ready and lighting this. It's already, I don't know if you can see it. Bubbles are already starting to come up. So yeah, they're pretty efficient. They're great when you're out. If you're out, say if you're up trouting or something like that, you don't want to take the time, build a fire pit, and go gather rocks and whatnot. It's a nice little thing to have in your backpack. You can just haul it out, find a bunch of twigs that are around where you're to, and have yourself a little fire and cook up your meal or whatnot. Like I said, the big thing with it is you gotta keep feeding it, because you're only giving it small stuff, but it does do the job really well. See the flames shooting out of it? Alright, and just let that burn down and do it all over again. Alright, well here's what's happening. It is keeping an excellent bed of embers underneath. It'll just be a minute that will burn off. But it's just smoldering. It's not keeping flame. I'm thinking I just need some bigger holes up more. Maybe take the bottom plate out, and it might work a bit better. Because that stick was probably about 1.5 feet long when I started poking it in there, and it's completely burning off. It's about the size of a pencil. So there's plenty of embers. It just needs a little bit of reworking. It is boiling the water, but it's a lot slower than what it should. So in conclusion, it'll work. Water's almost hot enough for tea now anyway. It'll work, but not as good as a store-bought one. See if I can get flame going back up through it. Because everything is just turning to embers, huh? So what I'm thinking is airflow problem. Look. This is one of the reasons why I put these slits around the side, so it would have better airflow. But they're not cutting it. I think too, might have took a little bit. I might have put the pot on a little too quick too. I should have worked it up to some bigger size sticks before I put the pot on. So I just kind of threw it on there kind of quick. You know, I usually do stuff like that. Anyone that's been following my channel will know, like I said before, I'm not a teacher. I learn this stuff as I go, and this was a learning curve for sure. I know I need some bigger holes in the bottom, and the plate, which I thought would act like an ash plate in a wood stove, isn't really working out in a little twig stove. So yeah, learn as I go. That'll only be another few minutes now and I'll be able to pour out my tea. There's steam coming out of it now. I don't know if you can see it through the smoke, but there's steam coming out. Alrighty, I'm calling her done. She's steaming. I didn't get my rolling boil, but I do know what the problem is. Maybe I'll fix it on my next video. But I've been waiting too long to have this cup of tea. Way too long. But the water is hot, look. It is really hot. So, conclusion. I'd say go buy one. Now, you can get them to work, no problem. I just made a couple little errors with that one. I think a few bigger holes around the bottom, and don't put the lid in it the way I had the steps on it. That might not have even been such a bad thing, but it's making a hefty ball of embers underneath everything. It's just not getting the flame that I need to get my rolling boil. So if you were going to heat something up, like a dehydrated meal or something like that, it will be fine for that. But it doesn't work as good as the ones that you buy. And that wind is really bad. But that's it for today, folks. Like I said, not a long video today, but I got out to do something, try something a little different. Didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, but nevertheless, I still got out to try it. And everybody, I'd like to say, have a great day. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and if possible, share it. It all helps the videos. And most importantly, everybody have a great day. Until next time, folks. Okay, so after some consideration and trial and error, really, my first attempt with the twig stove kind of failed a little. But what I did, it was a very simple fix. That one hole that I had, you see, I went around and I put a whole bunch of holes that size around, up a little bit higher, and as you can see, it's made quite a difference. So now let's see if I can get my rolling boil on my pot. I'm actually feeding it with bigger stuff now. almost right away. It's burning way better. Yeah, as you can see, it died down, but the flames, when I fed it again, the flames are already starting again. And there's more water in there now. Now I've literally only had the pot on for 5 minutes at most. It's already bubbling. So the airflow was the problem. And now I fixed it. It's a fully working functioning twig stove now. Like I said, it's these bigger holes that went around. I think I got 6 or 8 of them. I think it's only 6 of the bigger holes there. And that made a world of difference. And the pot is 2/3 of the way full now instead of just 1/3 full, and already I can see bubbles coming up on the top. Now that was twice as much water and only half the time. Airflow. Airflow is the problem. I'm not drinking this, so take this off, have a look. Another thing I'm going to do, these slits here, I'm going to make them more of a V, I think, and that'll help let the flame get up around a bit better. So it's all improvements. I did leave the bottom in that I had in there because that held it up a bit. As you can see, it'll burn. That'll smolder away like that and keep pumping out a lot of heat. I want to keep this warm. I can just lay it on there. Won't keep it on a rolling boil, but it will keep it warm. So yeah, twig stove out of a can. Just wanted to give you guys a little update on it, and because it was racking around in my head, what did I do wrong? And I know what I did wrong. I never had enough airflow going through it. So that's a little fix. It does work. You'll get your rolling boil. If you had to sanitize water, you can do it with it. Like I said, it's a great little addition to your backpack, especially if you're up somewhere where you can't really have an open fire and you got a little stove to put it in. as always, I'm not a teacher, but be safe, everybody, and always use safety when using fire and stuff like this, because that's a lot tippier than a regular twig stove. Have a great day. Until next time, folks.